Hey there, BookTube. So, tomorrow is Election Day here in America. I don't have off, unfortunately. Me and my wife voted early, and my wife voted for the very first time. I've been badgering her for years to register to vote, and she has been resistant. The two reasons that she listed were, one, she is afraid of if she registered, she would be called into jury duty, and two, she would be making the wrong decision, and it brought her anxiety. And the first one, I can't help you with the jury duty, but the second part, I would tell her, just do what you can. Look up on the candidates, see which ones you align to, figure out that way. And I was just honest with her. I just told her, sometimes it's just a crapshoot. It is what it is. But the reason why she registered to vote and voted for the very first time, and I think a lot of women are going to be like this, it was because of the Roe v. Wade reversal. And a lot of people are seeing, they know that it's because of Trump. They see the conservative judges that he appointed that helped with that decision. And they're also seeing all these remarks done by Trump and J.D. Vance about, childless women or disgusting or something like that. Just a whole bunch of just crazy stuff, There was a point in time where, especially like in the 2000s, where the Obama years, where you just kind of, it didn't matter, Obama's got it, it's whatever. But now, these things are starting to happen, and people are kind of reacting to it finally. I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. I think Harris is going to win. But who knows what Trump will do or say. I mean, he's said before that he'll accept the results as long as it is a fair election, which, okay, well, what does that mean to you? A fair election would probably mean that you won. I don't know. It'll make good TV, that's for sure. But I want to talk a little bit about what I'm reading right now, which is still, I had to flip the viewfinder, there we go. It's still You Bright and Risen Angels by Volman. I am pretty close to finishing. I hope to finish this at least by Wednesday. That's when I have the day off. I am really enjoying this. It's my first ever Volman book. I actually bought it at a yard sale. I think 2 years ago, maybe. I don't know. There's some things I think are 2 years ago. I was like, oh no, that was 10 years ago. But yeah, I bought it at a yard sale, and the guy that I bought it from, he could have been Volman. It may have been Volman. I don't know. Maybe he was undercover doing an article for Harper's about yard sales. I don't know. But the only difference was he was balding. Everything else was really similar. He had kind of like a bowl cut. He had those big glasses that take up half his face. More camo. It just looked a lot like him. And I asked him, oh, Volman, I've heard he's a good writer. Is that a good book of his? And he said, oh, I don't know. I couldn't finish it. But I'm going to finish this. And I'm feeling kind of melancholy about it. I've never gotten that way before with a book. Not once. I always get excited when I'm about to finish a book. You know, like, oh, I'm achieving something here. I'm finishing the book. Everything's going to wrap up. And I'm not feeling that with this. I'm kind of sad that I'm going to be finished with this. I mean, I'm excited for what I might be reading after it, but I could have honestly had a couple hundred more pages. You know, I feel like I could have done that. And what's weird is that this book, it ends at a certain point. This is an unfinished book, I'm pretty sure. See, it ends right around here. This is like the chapter breakdowns and everything. But as you can see, there's a whole lot more chapters that are supposed to happen. I don't know what that's about. I don't know if that was planned out and he couldn't finish it, or it's some kind of joke. I don't know. But yeah, I'm sure people have felt this way before with the end of a series. You know, like a fantasy series or whatever. Not me. I'm not a very good reader of series. I'm terrible at continuing on with. I mean, I look at my other shelf here, and I still have the second book of the Expanse series. I have not read yet. Let's see here. The third book of the Powder Mage series. I have not read it. I don't know if I'm ever going to finish that series. I would like to, but I don't know if I'm going to remember enough of the things that happen in the second book. I don't know. But usually with the books I normally read, I get excited, and this one I'm just like, oh man. I am looking forward to a reread of it though already. If there's ever a reread of it, I am down. And I hope this book gets more attention. Volman is really underrated. I think he is. Maybe he's really well. I mean, he is well known, but he's not as famous as, let's say, a DeLillo or a Pynchon, or someone like that. And I hope that changes. He's 62. Maybe at 65, he'll get known. That's what happened to Percival Everett. He was kind of known, but not famous. And now, I mean, after the American Fiction came out, which is based on his book Erasure, after it came out, his newest book, Booth, became, a bestseller. So maybe we need a movie. We need a movie based on this. That's what we need. And then William will get famous from that, and then he'll get more well known. So there's that. Looking forward to finishing that. But the next book that I have planned, I don't have the book planned out specifically. I have a group of books that I'm thinking about reading for Nonfiction November. I took part of it last year. I wasn't making YouTube videos at that time, and I completely forgot about Nonfiction November. I just read the book because I really wanted to read it, and it was American Midnight by Adam Hochschild. And one of the books, I don't know if this is his debut or what. I'm not sure. Up for debate. But every bookstore I go to, every single comic book store I go to, they have a copy of Blankets. And I figured, well, it's in pretty nice condition. Why not get it for $4? You know, I think it's like a coming of age story, and the art style is it reminds me of a certain style, and I can't honestly remember what it is. It's very stark. It's all black and white. Yeah. Oh, and also it has a little note in the beginning. My copy does. To Lindsay and Lauren from Daddy. Which is kind of sweet. And then it's from someone's father, and then in the first few pages there's child abuse that happens. So, but glad to find that. And now I will have a rant about Thriftbooks. I haven't used them before. I usually went with Second Sale, which I don't. That might be a website, but they also have an eBay store that I usually use, and they have a really great deal: buy 3 books, get one for free. And I always did that, and I never had a problem with the quality. They always said condition good, and sure enough, it was in good condition. It was nothing terrible, nothing that really bugged me. But the last batch of books that I got from them, I was not impressed at all. One of the books was the glue on the spine of the pages was coming off, and so like this little part right here with a big gap in between the spine of the booklet and then the pages. One didn't have the cover on it, like a little slip cover on it at all. I just was not impressed with the condition the books came in. So I thought, let's try out Thriftbooks. I've never ordered from them before, and same problem. So let me get the ones that are in fine condition. I mentioned before how I'm really enjoying You Bright Risen Angels, and I found a copy of this, Fathers and Crows. Not too bad of a price. More money than I like to spend on used books, but it's out of print. There's no Kindle edition to this, and I'm paranoid. Ever since I found out that the tunnel which I own is really, really rare now, and it's like $100 just for the paperback. Once I found that out, I'm more willing to spend a little more money on getting certain books. And there really wasn't a whole big of a difference on the hardback and the paperback edition, and I liked the hardback cover more than the paperback, so I went with this one. But no complaints on the condition of it. It's definitely a former library book, which is not a problem. Even comes with a little dust jacket, you know. But it came from, let's see here, the Fontana Regional Library, Bryson City, North Carolina. And it was part of the discarded. Well, I hear so many great things about this book. This will probably be my vacation read. Well, not this December, but next February. I'll be off a whole week, and I'll probably pop down and get reading to this. So that's one book I don't have a complaint about. And the next book, not that much complaints either. It said it was in good condition. And I mean, it's in fine condition. I don't have any problems with the pages. That's the most important part. That's where the pages are what matter, and there's nothing wrong with them. The cover is a little scuffed up here and there, but to me that's good condition. Where the cover might have some smuts on it, might be dinged up here and there, but pages, nothing wrong with them. Now, it's different when you say a book is in good condition, and then clearly, the pages got wet before. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but in the middle, well, actually, the first half of this book is all wrinkly. And it's like that for the first 100 pages. To me, that's not good condition. That's like acceptable, and that's not what I ordered. And then this book, it's in pretty nice condition, but I did not order mass paperback, and that's what I got. And then later on, this book was on sale on Kindle for $1.99, so I got that edition, and I'll probably just put this in my little free library. But yeah, this is not what I ordered. I ordered just a regular plain paperback, and that's not what I got. So this experience with Thriftbooks, not impressive. I'll probably try out World of Books. They offer the same deal that Second Sale did, which is buy 3, get 1, or yeah, buy 3, get 1 for free, and free shipping on all orders that are $10 or more. I'll probably try them out and then come back to you and give you what I think, but Thriftbooks, not that impressed, I gotta be honest with you. It's also owned by Amazon, which is like, do I have to give them more money? Like, I already give them enough money with the Kindle stuff. Do I really want to give them more money with Thriftbooks? I don't know. But, so yeah, that is it for me. If you have any suggestions on non-fiction novels, put them in the comments below. And any other suggestions, if you can gather my taste buds on what I've talked about so far, give them to me. I welcome all recommendations. There was someone that, it was either a video or a podcast I listened to where they talked about how recommendations are poison to them. And I have the exact opposite. More recommendations. I don't care. Because, I mean, this book is a prime example. Right? I first heard about it on Leaf by Leaf's video about it, which was, 6 years ago, and it was in the back of my mind, and then, what would it be, 4 years later, or whatever, it might not have been 6 years. No, that video is 6 years old, I think. I don't know. Time is whatever. But then years later, I found this book at a yard sale based on that recommendation by Leaf, and then I found out on my bookshelf, and I'm like, hey, you know what, I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna read the first 50 pages and see what I think, and then here I am getting ready to finish it. So yeah, let me know down below, and I will see you next time. There we go. I had to change the battery. What was I talking about? I was talking about non-fiction books. That's right. So this is one of Adam Hochschild's other books. Let me adjust the camera a little bit. There we go. I had it perfect, and I had to... Anyways. I gotta flip the finder one more time. There we go. King Leopold's Ghost, which is about King Leopold II and his colonization of, I believe, the Congo? Territory surrounding the Congo River, yes. He was just absolutely brutal to these people. I think there's even a photo in here of, I believe, a child who got his arm. Yeah, a child with the arms cut off. I mean, just absolutely brutal. I think they were harvesting rubber. But I first got tuned into this when I read King Solver's Poison One Bible. They talked about King Leopold, and I thought, oh, I wonder what that's all about. And then you look up King Leopold, and this is the first thing that pops up, and I finally found it when I went to Half Price Books. So that's one of the books I might read. The other one, and I'm probably the last person in the world not to have read this, but it is The Devil in the White City, which is about a serial killer at the, was it 1893? Yes, 1893 World's Fair in Chicago. So yeah. Which I think there might be a show or a movie based on this book. I can't remember. But I mean, I love that time period. You know, it's a story about a serial killer at the World's Fair. It's right up my alley. So there's that one. And then, depending on how the election goes, I have 2 books picked out for that. The first one is Left Behind by Lily Geismer. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. That's what it looks like. I have it on my Kindle, that's why I'm showing it on my phone. It's Left Behind, the Democrats' failed attempt to solve inequality, which is about how the Democrats started to swing to the right, and it kind of came to its penultimate result with Clintonism. Very interesting sounding book. And then the other book is The Anatomy of Fascism by Robert Paxton. So we'll see how the election goes. I might read one of those too. I attempted to read Anatomy of Fascism, but I just wasn't feeling it at that time. I think I'm ready for it now. So those are the nonfiction books. If you have any suggestions, let me know. I'm open to suggestions. I'm taking part of it though because I don't read enough nonfiction. I have plenty of it, and I love nonfiction books. It's just it's not part of my reading diet, I guess you could say. So there's that. I also got some books. These first 4 are from, well, one's from eBay. I'll show you that one. It is The Collected Fictions of Borges. I think it was Waste Mailing List. He was talking about Solenoid. And he talked about how that book is about how one thing can completely alter your life. And he talked about how that's very similar to the Borges short story, The Garden of Forking Paths. And he said, also, if the collected fictions of Borges should be on everyone's shelf. And I was like, sir, yes, sir. So I picked it up for a really, really What are you doing? My cat found one of his toys. Oh well. I think like $6. And I have a rant about eBay here in a second, but this was one of those instances where the seller was completely correct on their on the condition of the book. So this might be like a, you know, every night I read a story, something like that. The next few are from Goodwill. This is The Ghost by Robert Harris, which is about a somewhat infamous, it's fiction, prime minister that goes into hiding because I think he was a supporter of the invasion of Iraq. It was controversial prime minister in the last half century. That's right. He stepped down in disgrace. That's right. He's hiding out in Martha's Vineyard, and then he hires a ghostwriter, and that ghostwriter is found dead on the beach, and then he hires another ghostwriter, and that ghostwriter finds some things out, and it sounds really, really interesting. If you've watched The Ghostwriter, which stars Pierce Brosnan and Ewan McGregor, it was based on this novel. I didn't want to watch that movie because I was like, well, that sounds like a really cool story. So I'm really glad I got this. And it's not the last Robert Harris book I found, or I bought. The next one is James McBride's A Miracle of Saint Anna. This is about, I believe, an all-black platoon or battalion, something like that, at I'll just read it here. Inspired by a historical incident that took place in the village of St. Anna in Tuscany, and by the experiences of the famed Buffalo soldiers of the 92nd Division in Italy during World War II, Miracle of St. Anna is a singular evocation of war, cruelty, passion, heroism, and love. It is the story of 4 American soldiers, the villagers among them who take refuge, a band of partisans, and an Italian boy, all of whom encounter a miracle. Though perhaps the true miracle lies in themselves. So, James McBride, he's one of those writers that I have a bunch of his books because I've stumbled upon them and I had not read a single one. I got to. I'll probably start with this one. This is the most interesting one that most interesting one to me. Oh, this is his first novel. I did not know that. Oh, The Color of... What was a memoir? Oh, okay. Well, interesting. Okay. Huh. Alright then. Well, I found this. Bookcrossing.com. I don't know if that thing is still around or not. Well, anyways, got that. And then the last book I got from Goodwill isn't really a book at all. It's actually a graphic novel. I don't know what to call it, but it's Blankets. It just seems like the perfect book to read on a cold, chilly day. If we have a cold, chilly day where I live, it's